What is your take on the theme for 2022, Break the Bias?
I think any campaign or any day that raises awareness of bias has to be good. So I think the theme of breaking the bias goes wider than just gender, and I think that's coming through this year, that there is more of an emphasis on inequality generally as opposed to just inequality against women. So I think breaking the bias is a good theme. I think breaking the bias is very easy to say but harder to do. Unconscious bias certainly exists, and I think we all have unconscious bias in some way or another. So I think the campaign to raise awareness of it is good. Educating, and actually I think just today to make us all stop and think about our own approach and how we might break any bias that we're aware of, is a worthy cause and has to be positive. I think it's very hard to legislate against bias, but I think you can educate and you can prove by example. So I think using positive examples of where equality and a diverse bunch of people can add value to a community or a business, I think that's the way to go. So education, using positive examples, maybe with legislation in backup if it's needed. That would be my take on it. I think breaking any bias has to be good so that we have a more diverse and equal world, really.
What advice do you have for women starting out in your sector?
I think the advice would be for anybody starting out in any sector. So I think self-belief and confidence in yourself is key. And maybe women suffer a little bit more from not believing in themselves than maybe men. That might be a bit controversial, but you do perhaps see that a bit more in women than you do in men. So I think believe in yourself. I think have confidence in yourself and your own abilities, and look for people and situations that will help you build that confidence and that self-belief. And only you will know the kind of environment that will help you build your confidence and that will help you build your self-belief. So it could be a role that you love, it could be a discipline within the sector that you really love, or it could be surrounding yourself with people that really empower you to believe in yourself. The other thing I would say is listen. Listen to those around you and listen to people that you respect, because you can learn a lot from listening. Observe, the same thing, observing people that you respect I think is useful. And learning, continually learning and developing yourself, taking every chance you can to develop yourself. And then I think getting involved internally and in external projects as well. Volunteer and take every opportunity you can to build your experience within the sector that you want to work in. I think it does all come down to believing in yourself and making sure you put yourself in a position where you can build that self-belief.
What motivates you professionally?
I like being part of a team. I love being part of any team that's working towards a common goal. So I'm very motivated by being part of a team and achieving objectives for the team and for myself personally. I think in a nutshell, it's being part of an environment where I can make a difference, where I can know that going to work in the morning will make a difference, and where I know that I will be challenged as well to really make that difference. So working in a team and achieving goals for a team and for myself motivates me.
What did you want to be when you were younger?
When I was very young, and probably still now if I'm honest, I wanted to be Doris Day. That's really what I wanted to do, but I can't sing. So that was never on. What I then decided I wanted to do professionally was to be a beauty therapist. And I trained for 2 years to be a beauty therapist. Came out of college, passed my exams, came out of college and realised that I hated being a beauty therapist. So that was quite disappointing, because I was about 5 when I decided that, and got to 20 and decided it's not what I wanted to do. So I drifted into financial services. I think some years ago, maybe financial services was a career that you did drift into as opposed to decide you wanted to work in. And something that is really nice to see is I think that has changed over the years. So people are making a conscious decision that they want to work in financial services. And I think it's quite key that we raise awareness of the different routes that there are within financial services. So it's not all sitting working with numbers all day. You can work in marketing, you can work in communications, you can work in client services. I really drifted into financial services, but I've enjoyed it for many years. So probably more than I would have enjoyed being a beauty therapist, but not as much as I would have enjoyed being Doris Day, I don't think.
Will you help break the bias?